Welcome to the vertical drawing setup. It works a lot better than I thought it would, and there are some benefits to this configuration over the standard landscape. First, you're going to need a sturdy monitor arm. Here I have the MU7011 single monitor arm from MountUp. They sent this to me a couple months back. Very sturdy monitor arm. Just make sure that you add some cushioning to the quick release bracket. The mounting mechanism for this monitor arm is really secure. It's low profile, doesn't take up a lot of space on top or under your desk. What I'm mounting to this monitor arm is a 24-inch pen display. This one's from Huion. This is their Canvas 24 Plus. Now, in order for this super tall drawing tablet setup to work, you've got to get a very, very large drawing tablet in order to benefit from the screen real estate. Now, so 24 inches is large enough. It's 16 by 9, so it's nice and wide. So once we flip that over to its portrait configuration, we have a very tall drawing tablet. Now, why draw this way? Isn't it easier just to use a standard landscape orientation for your drawing tablet? Well, that depends. The benefits of using the portrait mode is that instead of one 16 by 9 area to work in, you actually get 3. So you can put your reference on top, you can put all your dockers, windows, color selectors, tools on the bottom, and then in that middle portion you can draw. Now I tend to make that middle portion more of a square, so scrunching the reference all the way to the very top and then the tools all the way to the very bottom, and that gives me an excellent space to work in, still comfortable, surprisingly. And the benefit is that it's so much easier to move your arm up and down. If we want large, flowy, elegant looking lines, we gotta draw with our shoulder, right? It's much easier to move our shoulder up and down than it is side to side. So a tall drawing tablet orientation will allow you to get full length up and down brush strokes. That's the idea behind this, and it actually works surprisingly well. It's not very difficult to get used to. Now, there's also another benefit to this. Now we have screen real estate to mount our TourBox. So you got a nice shortcut key remote to use along with the setup, because I doubt you're gonna be having a keyboard along with this setup. But now you can bring the drawing tablet nice and close to your chest while you're drawing, so you can have lots of control. And then you also got the shortcut key remote like a TourBox that has a ton of functionality, great software. Now you're going to be able to use that to give you the speed you're looking for in your creative workflow. As for the TourBox, I really do recommend getting the TourBox Neo, because as an animator, there's just so many shortcut keys you'll end up having to use. Your drawing, your painting, and your timing. So I highly recommend you get the TourBox Neo because it has more buttons than their cheapest TourBox Lite. You got that middle dial for brush size, brush opacity, you got the scroll wheel for zooming in and out, and now you also got the leftmost dial that you can use for flipping frames. I think it's worth the extra money to get the Neo. So the next 2 entries to this setup are sent by flexispot. They're sponsoring this video, and first we're going to look at their E6 standing desk. The reason I recommend getting a standing desk is so you can have maximum height adjustability, but the thing is, it's gotta be a sturdy standing desk. Drawing on a wobbly desk is not going to work. At least for me, it's not going to work. Preferably get something that is going to be stable at sitting height and also the same or acceptable stability at standing height. So what about the E6 from flexispot? Since they're sponsoring this video, I'm actually not going to say anything about the wobbliness of this desk. It's not a review, but I'm going to show it to you so you can see it for yourself. I'm going to compare the E6, which runs for around $400, to my branch standing desk. Now let the results speak for themselves. First, I'm going to try a front to back wobble test and then a side to side wobble test. Okay, so not gonna draw any conclusions for you. Point is that yes, I can draw comfortably at standing height on this flexispot E6. Mind you, this desk is actually on wheels. Installing the feet on this desk might cause it to wobble even less, but it works, so I don't think installing the feet is necessary. Next in the setup, we're looking for an office chair that has a reclining feature. Why, Bill? Because if you can recline, you can actually bring this vertical setup closer to your body while you're sketching, and actually have a very comfortable and ergonomic drawing experience. Here we have the OC6 from flexispot. It's their sort of mid-range level office chair, coming in around just under $300. It features a breathable mesh cushion, height adjustable and rotatable armrest, as well as a headrest. Now this is definitely an ergonomic chair. It's meant to keep you awake and active during work. So it has several different adjustable settings to suit your needs, but most importantly, yes, it can recline, so you can adjust the actual reclining feature with this dial on the bottom to change how much the chair is going to push you forward. So if you want just the right amount of resistance to maximize mobility even while you're sitting. I tend to lean back and forwards when I'm drawing, especially if I'm trying to get large free-flowing brush strokes, and some of that momentum could possibly come from the reclining feature. Okay, and lastly, we have the lighting of this setup. This may seem like a minor aspect, but in my experience, it's actually the part of your setup that affects you the most. The lighting of your setup will determine whether you're going to have a sustainable workday. Are you going to be able to do this drawing, animating day after day for hours on end? We know that the lights coming from electronic devices can be harmful if used excessively, especially if those lights are isolated as the only light entering into our eyes. So my solution to this problem was to get some neutral, diffused ambient light for the studio. Got this kind of make do DIY solution here, so hear me out. The light bulbs I'm using are from YUJI LEDs. They are high CRI, meaning high color rendering index. These are at 5600K. Any light warmer than this would relax you. Any light cooler than this would make you more alert, but they would provide a sort of very bland environment in my opinion. So I decided to go with seemingly right in the middle, 5600K, for neutral light. So I bought some light sockets from Neo to brew these into that have a light switch on the back as well. But how was I going to diffuse them? So I learned that standard soft boxes give great diffusion, but only from the front. A softbox may leave an unpleasant dark spot behind it because there's no light back there. And so after doing some research, I saw these lantern softboxes, which spread light in almost 360-degree angle. Just one of these corn bulbs from YUJI LEDs is pretty much lighting my whole studio. So the softbox is also from Neo. Here's the make do part. The Neo socket is actually not compatible with their softbox, their lantern softbox. And so what I did is I took a speed light adapter from Godox, I believe, and it's a Bowen's adapter for speed lights or camera flash lights, and I used that to clamp down the light socket into this lantern softbox, and it works really well. I'm very happy with it. YUJI LEDs did send these products. They also sent one more thing, which is a standard D50 bulb, standardized for making artwork, so I was interested. These are your A19 regular normal looking light bulbs, quite heavy though, 5000K. They look excellent on camera. In person they're a bit greenish to me, so not the most pleasant drawing experience. When buying light bulbs, try to see if you can get a photometric report to see whether the bulb, although it has good CRI, will be slightly greenish or slightly pinkish. Make sure you can find the photometric report and that it can tell you the DUV, the delta UV of that particular light bulb. A negative DUV will make the light a little bit more pinkish. Some people call it a rosy-ish tint, but a positive DUV will mean the light is a little more greenish. Neutral DUV might be best for some. Personally, I look for something that's either neutral or negative with a slightly rosy-ish tint because who knows, I think I like it. So that's pretty much it for the setup. Everything you see here will be listed in the description. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. I'll try my best to get back to you. Special thanks to flexispot for sponsoring this video and sending out their E6 and OC6 and making this setup possible. I want to say special thanks to my patrons for supporting my channel, especially Owen Art on Patreon. But that said, that's all from me, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.